Welcome guys to another ranking video, and we are going to rank M. Night Shyamalan's movies from the worst to the best. My name is Josh, aka Future Filmic 3440 here, and I did a ranking video of M. Night Shyamalan's movies, but I figured why not redo it and talk about each film. So there are not going to be any Stardust reactions to any of the films, but I am going to rank them from my least favorite to my favorite. Before we get started, tell me your list down below. How would you rank M. Night Shyamalan's movies? Which one is his best? Which one is his worst? Which one are you in between on? There are 11 movies to rank because I added the movie Devil, which he didn't write and direct, but he came up with the story and produced. So, plus his main movies he's directed. Coming to number 11 is The Happening. Now, this is the weakest M. Night Shyamalan movie for me, but it is funny, bad, in a bad way. Yes, this is supposed to be his first R-rated film, and from a guilty pleasure standpoint, this movie is hilarious and dumb and stupid for what it is, but as a movie, it is awful. It is awful. And this movie is weird, stupid. The premise is weird and stupid. The acting is good, but this is just one of the weaker films. It's a very odd film, but as guilty pleasure, I like it, but as a movie, it is not very good. Coming in number 10 is Avatar: The Last Airbender. No, The Last Airbender. I'm not going to put the Avatar in there. This is the worst adaptation of a TV show in live action I've ever seen. And people say Scooby-Doo 1 and 2 are worse. No, this is the worst one. This is an insult to the TV show, but as a guilty pleasure, I do enjoy it on that terms. Look, as a movie, it's not horrible. It's not the worst thing ever, but as a movie based on a classic TV show, it's bad. And I rewatched the TV show, and the TV show is awesome. The acting is not the problem, except for a few actors. Noah Ringer, he's alright. Nicola Peltz is fine. Dev Patel is fine. The visual effects are good. The way this movie looks cool. I do like the music, but the story is far-fetched and in between. There is a lot of things that are wrong with this movie. It is awful. It is one of his worst ones. But the worst one is, there's also something way worse than this one. Coming to number 8 is coming to number 9 is After Earth. My God, M. Night Shyamalan. This was an attempt to make a sci-fi film, and it sucked miserably. Will Smith is one of the few good things I like. I do like the music. I do like some of the effects, but the rest of the effects look crap. Jaden Smith is not very good in this movie. I think the way this movie is written, I feel like the premise could be interesting, but with a different director, with a different script, and with a different second actor to replace Jaden Smith, I felt like this could have been a lot better. And this movie is boring, it's dull, it's derivative, and nothing is remotely interesting about it. And this movie has some of the worst overacting I've seen with Jaden Smith. Will Smith is okay in here. He's good actor and he tries, but this movie just gives him nothing to Coming to number 8 is The Visit, the start of the return to form for M. Night Shyamalan. Now, when I first saw this movie, I wasn't too impressed with it, but as I kept watching the movie, I said to myself, you know what, this is one of his good ones. M. Night Shyamalan is starting to make that comeback. Now, the movie does have some weird moments. It does have a humor to it, and also this was the first movie where M. Night Shyamalan and Blumhouse Productions worked together. They worked together with Split, and they're going to be I think they're going to be working together again with Glass. I'm not sure. But The Visit, I thought it was really good. I do like the brother. I do like The Sister by Olivia DeJonge. The grandparents are cool, but the twist, that I wasn't too impressed with it when I first watched it. I'm still not impressed with it. But I feel like M. Night Shyamalan, he was doing a good job for his comeback. But my number 4, which we'll get to, was Away. Coming to number 7 is the M. Night Shyamalan produced Devil. This was an interesting premise. I thought it was a very cool premise. People stuck in the elevator and then they have to try and figure out what is going on in this elevator. I liked the premise. I thought it was really smart. I thought it was very cool. It's not that 100% original, but M. Night Shyamalan did a good job producing this and coming up with a story. The director did a good job directing the film. I do like the acting in the movie for the most part. My problem with the movie is that I feel like the ending was just like, whatever, mediocre. But I feel like Devil was a pretty entertaining movie, and it is a good film from the mind of M. Night Shyamalan. And this was supposed to be a trilogy, but I guess that didn't work out. Coming to number 6 is The Sixth Sense. Now, The Sixth Sense, now it may surprise people that this is not my number 1 favorite Shyamalan movie. But the debut of M. Night Shyamalan, it was great. I love Haley Joel Osment in the movie. I love Bruce Willis in the movie. I love Toni Collette in the movie. I love the performances. I love the story. I love the score, cinematography. I like that you have this kid who can see dead people, and the twist was pretty genius at the end of the movie. I really loved the twist here, and the classic line from Haley Joel Osment, "I see dead people," was great. This movie should have won some Academy Awards. It did get nominated, but I don't think it won anything. I might have to look that up. But The Sixth Sense, I think, is a pretty entertaining film. I think it's a much better film than what critics give it. Anyway, the critics, they do love this movie, so you can scratch that out. But The Sixth Sense, really good movie. Coming in 5th place is Lady in the Water. Now, I know a lot of people do not like this movie. It does have its problems. Some of the characterization is not the greatest. The ending twist is not the greatest. And I also feel like the movie does get a little slow paced at times. But what the movie does excel at is it does have an original premise. I do like the cinematography. I do love the music. I love Paul Giamatti in this movie. Bryce Dallas Howard is good in this movie. She's not great, but she's good. I love the rest of the cast. It's like a horror, fantasy, comedy. But I also kind of enjoy this as a guilty pleasure. It's not the worst thing ever. There are way worse movies than this. And After Earth and The Last Airbender and The Happening, those are worse than this. But The Happening is a guilty pleasure. But as a movie is bad. The Last Airbender is a guilty pleasure, and as a movie on its own terms, it's not that bad. But as an Avatar TV show adaptation, it fails on all levels, and After Earth is just plain bad. But Lady in the Water, I think, is coming in number 4 is Split, the second film in the Unbreakable trilogy. Wow, this was great. James McAvoy gives a fantastic performance, playing all these different personalities as this one man. From Patricia to Hedwig to Kevin to the Beast. I really like the story here. I like Betty Buckley here. I like the 3 main girls here. Haley Lou Richardson, Anya Taylor-Joy, and I forgot the other girl's real name. I thought they were really great. I really thought Haley Lou Richardson, for the screen time she has before she gets killed off, spoiler warning, she was really good. Anya Taylor-Joy carried this movie on her shoulders, and I love the little hints at the end with the cameo from Bruce Willis, and because people, you didn't know this is part of the Unbreakable trilogy, but now this is, and I can't wait to see how the cast of Unbreakable and Glass is going to play out in. I mean, Unbreakable and Split is going to play out in Glass next year. Bring it on, M. Night Shyamalan. Wrap up that trilogy. We may be looking at another great trilogy if Glass is just as great as Unbreakable. 3 is The Village. Now, the trailers are very misleading for this movie. That is one of the problems with this movie. Another problem is I feel like I don't really care too much for the twist ending. And the third problem I feel like is this movie is kind of slow. But for an acting debut of Bryce Dallas Howard, she really did good. I think the rest of the cast, Adrian Brody, Joaquin Phoenix, they are really great here. I was into the story. I also really enjoyed how the movie played out. I love the cinematography by Roger Deakins. So happy he got an Oscar for 2049. Really enjoyed this movie. I don't see what the problem is. Yes, there are some things that doesn't really work. But The Village is quite an underrated film, and it's a good movie at that. So I would highly recommend The Village. 2 is Signs. Signs. People say this is M. Night Shyamalan's downfall. No, this is a great film. My only concern is I don't understand how the whole alien thing with water. I don't really understand that. I thought that could have been explained more. I also feel like there could have been a lot more explanation with Graham, but I feel like Mel Gibson, Joaquin Phoenix, Abigail Breslin, and the little boy, they really did great. I loved the whole idea of this movie. I like the twist. This is one of Chris Stuckman's favorite movies, and if you want to see something cool, check out his analyzed review. I will put it in the link down below, and I will also make it one of the cards as you see on the screen. This is just a very entertaining film. I really enjoy it, and I really think Signs is another one of his best films. The Village and Lady in the Water are okay, but his main great movies are Unbreakable, Signs, Split, The Sixth Sense, and now The Visit. So, yeah. Signs is a really good film. Coming to number 1 for the best M. Night Shyamalan movie is the first film in the Unbreakable trilogy, Unbreakable. This is my favorite M. Night Shyamalan movie. This is his best film. It's such an incredible film. It takes something with the superhero genre and turns it on its head. His superhero thriller, I really like that. I love Bruce Willis as David Dunn in here. I love Samuel L. Jackson as Elijah Prince. I love how this movie is shot, well acted, well directed, with the rest of the cast, Spencer Treat Clark, Robin Wright Penn. I love Elijah is playing here. I love David Dunn. He was one of the most coolest characters in movies. And I like that he doesn't know he's a superhero. I like that everyone survives the little train accident except him, and we go more in depth with that after you go over the course of the movie. And the conversations with Bruce Willis, Samuel Jackson are great. I really love the twist ending. This movie was definitely underrated when it first came out. A lot of people say it wasn't as good as Sixth Sense, but now they warm up to it, say it's just as good as the Sixth Sense. I love the twist in this movie, and I really love the soundtrack in this movie. This soundtrack is magnificent. I really love how M. Night Shyamalan took basically an idea like this and made it into a superhero thriller. And it's a great film. It's a magnificent film. And there's a reason why a lot of people will say either this or The Sixth Sense is their favorite. Or Split in the case. And the trilogy got better with even more awesome with Split, and it's going to be even more awesomely awesome with Glass next year. Unbreakable, fantastic. So that was my list of ranking of all of the M. Night Shyamalan movies, including Devil, which he produced. Let me know what you guys think of this list down below. How would you rank all his movies if you want to include Devil, which he only produced? Which one is the best one? Which one is the worst one? Which one's the underrated one? Which one's the overrated one? Which one is in the middle? Be sure to tell me all that down below. Be sure to check out all my social media links down below. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Stardust. Check out my official group page and also my official fan page. And also go check out the Land of the Nerd Pack channel, which I just created, which is basically me and 9 other YouTube collaborators. This is Future Filmmaker 3940 signing out, and you guys keep it cool as always. I'll see you guys in a possible channel update.